I carefully pressed the button labeled light, and a rather strong light came on, illuminating the way forward. I probably really shouldn't have turned it on, but I didn't have any way of seeing it at this point, and I had zero confidence I could ride through this darkness. As the rain came down on me, I maintained a precarious balance and inched my way towards the swamp. Along the way, I ran across a few people who seemed to be returning from the festival. But none of them had any interest in me. They were either all soaked through with the rain and hurrying on their way home, or had their umbrellas low and their heads down. Yesterday I might have been wary of even these passers-by, but right now it didn't seem to be much cause for concern. In fact, it would probably be less suspicious to be riding out in the open like this instead of sneaking around. More and more, though, I started to think of that idea as naive, brought on by my exhausted state. I climbed a steep hill. On a bike, the hill would have put me out of breath, but I just had to accelerate a little bit to climb the entire thing. Motorcycles sure are convenient. So are cars. For a moment, its lights illuminated a sign before I passed by it. Unugabushi Swamp / Good children do not play around here. Good children. Bad children, you go ahead. We don't want you here. Still, it wasn't like the way to the swamp was cordoned off by a metal fence or anything. Parents and teachers would get mad at you if they found out you were playing at the swamp, but some of the bad kids in my class apparently snuck out at here sometimes to see the giant crayfish in the place. Ah, nothing like the giant crayfish. They talked about that before, about how they go to the candy shop and buy some pickled squid, then just tie it to a fishing line and throw it, and all the crayfish would come running. God, don't even fucking remind me how fishing for them. Except we had to do it by hand. We had we had a bucket and stuff for it, but good God, it fucking sucks. Screw that. I hate catching them. It's no fun. Even for, village people. You have to be damn bored if you enjoy doing that. I mean, I can understand why you'd enjoy fishing, but, there's no real, fun parts to that. I mean, I don't know. I don't enjoy swamps, though. I'm sure someone out there does. Once I got it up to the bank, there was a tiny ritual shrine and traditional ropes on one of the trees. And as it swallowed the downpoured whole, the blackened swamp had waited for me. If I slammed on the accelerator from the cliff, like the cliff-like stop I was on now, the thing would fly straight into the middle of the swamp. I had to be careful not to fall in with it. If I drowned and disappeared, man, what a stupid ghost story that would be. On the night of Watanagashi, Satsuka's uncle's corpse was found in a thicket by the road leading to town, and Keiichi Maibara went missing. People would whisper that I had been demoned away. Oh wait, that sounds really familiar. The 5th year's curse would be a half-baked one. I got off the bike and twisted the accelerator as hard as I could. I let go just when it seemed like it would drag me forward. The bike shot off the cliff and was swallowed down into the swamp, leaving a far fainter splash than I had imagined. Its surface was being pummeled by the downpour, then the muddy, filthy water was flowing into it. I couldn't even make out the motorbike that I had just thrown in there. I hope you turned off the light, too, because that would be just unfortunate. Those animals in there would not like that bright light. It was pretty heavy after all. It would be quickly engulfed by the soft mud at the bottom of the swamp, and it would be pulled deeper and deeper until it reached hell itself. I felt no reluctance whatsoever in throwing the man's motorbike down into the land of demons, but I did have a tinge of regret when I did it with Satoshi's bat. Oh, you had to fucking fling that like a badass, just the one-handed bat toss into the underhanded bat flip into the swamp. That's just, you have to do that. The muddy water washed off the gore sticking to it, and it sunk easily. I had sort of shared today's events with Satoshi, so I wanted to give it a quiet place to stay. That's how I felt. I started to feel like returning it to the locker from before, so I could continue to keep watch over Satoko. You're a dumbass, you should have. Oh, fuck me. Because what they say, oh, the bat's missing too. And this guy, let's say there's some reason they find it. And they found that he was beaten to death with a blunt object. They find that the bat's missing. Then it's immediately someone in your class that did it. Ooh, that's not a good look, Keiichi. Should have Now thinking about it, you should have kept it. Fuck. Satoshi. I probably, misunderstood you. Satoshi listened quietly without nodding, obviously because he's dead. I am absolutely convinced now, or running away. You were the one who beat your aunt to death last year and saved Satoko. I always scorned you and called you a coward who ran away, but I was wrong. To the rest of the world, some deviant was behind that incident, but I know that was something you did for her. And then you disappeared. You finally got back that peace and lost it within days. So, I swear to you that I will live life to the fullest from now on. Live it enough for the both of us. I will live on as though this week, this day never happened. But I will never forget this short time we shared together for as long as I live. I didn't know what expression Satoshi made as he listened, but as someone who had protected the same girl, I felt that he had smiled and given me his blessing. Yeah. And then my hand moved on its own accord, and I clawed out my throat and died. Oh my god. If it ended that way, I swear to fucking Christ, I would delete this game. I would straight up and uninstall, delete it. Fuck you. And the bat I had hesitated to throw it away, left my hands and flew through the air. Yes. It traveled its parabolic path, spinning all the while, and the swamp absorbed it without a sound. There weren't even any ripples when it hit the surface. That surface was tempestuous because of the downpour. Tempestuous? I think it's tempestuous. Something along the... Yeah, I think I said it right. Tempestuous. Something along those lines. Something similar to that. Don't know what it means. Well, actually, no, it probably means like it was unsettled. That it was constantly moving. And the bat was gone. Long gone. For a moment, I regretted having thrown it. But as I realized, that might have been what Satoshi had wanted. You're right. I still can't let myself give in to emotion just yet. I'd return for my shovel, get on my bike, dig a hole to hide the body, and bury it. It seemed like a simple sequence of events, but I felt extremely exhausted and I had to do it all tonight. Satoshi left me with the only advice that I needed to finish this up soon. Then fell silent for eternity and disappeared at the bottom of the demon's abyss. You're fucking insane. I returned to the path I'd ambushed her uncle on. My bike was hidden, sleeping in the brush. I stood it back up. My whole body felt heavy. But I needed to finish by the end of the day, even if I had to whip myself to do it. Oh, I forgot something. I didn't just come here for my bike. The shovel was here too. Not good. I was zoning out. Every once in a while, if I let my guard down, my vision would almost go black. Oh god, I fucking hate those moments of how, like, exhausted you are, and you can feel yourself about to, like, legitimately pass out. Oh, I fucking hate those moments. Pull yourself together, Keiichi Maebara. It's still not over. I went into the grove of trees and looked for the hole in which I'd hidden the shovel. Unfortunately, I had it deep in the forest, and not wanting it to be seen, and now everything was black in the night, and I couldn't see anything anymore. I reawakened my fading consciousness and realized just how big this annoyance really was. Wait, you can't be serious. The sweat the rain washed away before came back up to my skin. Deep in the forest where the streetlights could never reach. The fact that I would be so pitch black had been completely uncalculated. With this much darkness, even if I had been able to kill him right away like I'd planned, I didn't know if I could still have buried him without a problem. What should I do? I simply couldn't find the shovel tonight. If I forced myself to go deep into the forest, I'd lose my even sense of my directions, and might actually get lost in here. That might have been an exaggeration, but it's fully possible I'd trip over a tree root and sprain a muscle. Alright, my house's storage room. There was another shovel there, the same fold-up kind. Couldn't I just go back to the house, get the shovel, give up on finding the shovel tonight? It's not as though the name Mayabara is written on the shovel, but it seemed like an unusual item from an import and variety store, made in another country, so I didn't want to leave that shovel here. But in this darkness, I couldn't do anything. I should give up and go back to the storage room. And there was an electric lantern in there. Yes! If I used that for light, I could look for it. But it was so extremely dark, could I light the way with just the lantern? The light of a lantern in this dark night. It couldn't discard the possibility of drawing eyes. And I doubted if I could find the shovel with the lantern's feeble light. Any light is better than no light. Besides, I left the body there for a pretty long time already. My sense of fear, dulled through excessive exhaustion, finally reared its ugly head. Anyway, for the most important thing was to hide the body. A shovel being found wouldn't be a big deal, but a corpse? If they found that, I'd share the same fate as Satoshi. First, I'd go back to the storage room at home. Then I'd get the lantern. Now that it's gone dark, I might still need that light to dig a hole for the body, too. I'd get the other shovel, and then I'd deal with the body first thing. Once that was done, I'd come back here, find the shovel, and bring it back. I had to do at least that much, but I was so tired. But complaining was getting me nowhere. If I started getting complacent now, everything will have been for naught. At some point, I had sat down. I gritted my teeth and endured, lifting my heavy hips. The night was young, and of all the nights I'd experienced, none had ever been this long. When would it all end? The night was young. Fuck, man. It sucks to be you, man. It really does. The lights at home were dazzlingly bright. Suddenly, they reminded me of how hungry I was. I checked the clock and saw that it was almost 7. Only 7 and it's that dark? Fuck me. I thought for sure it was 2 or 3 in the morning already. I was surprised at how messed up my biological clock had gone just from this one night. There was a warm light coming from the curtains in the living room window. The worlds between here and what was beyond those curtains were so different. If only that man hadn't shown up, I would have been in that light. I'd still be excited from the festival, and I'd be talking to my parents about how much fun I had with all my friends. Kidding, I would still be with my friends. It's only 7 o'clock, come on. I would still be hanging out with them. And then, even though they made a hot meal for me, I would have eaten way too much at the stalls, barely eaten any of it, and gone back to my room. Oh, are you kidding? I am too nice. I will fucking eat. Like, if someone puts effort into a meal, I'm fucking eating as much as I can. Fuck that. Though it's probably not the healthiest thing, but I'm only eating it. No, in college, that's a... Fuck me. Definitely not eating anywhere near enough of what a normal person probably should be. Which, that's what sucks when family comes nearby, because then they God, they force you to eat so much, and good fucking God. Thought I was gonna die. I mean, I've probably eaten more in this last weekend than all of last 2 months. It was so fucking much. Thought I was gonna die. Fuck me. No doubt I'd crawl into my futon and easily let myself fall to sleep. Yeah, speaking of what I'm gonna fucking do, I haven't gotten to sleep in the last 2 nights. But right now I was completely different. There wasn't a single ember of warmth from those weak street lights. Right now I was unconnected to any time spent with my family. and there was neither warm food nor the time to allow myself to sleep. My body exposed to the cold rain, I knew that I simply had to spur myself on to accomplish what I must. I realized how timid, how cowardly I was becoming. For what reason did I need to kill someone even if it felt this terrible? I lost sight of my purpose. I selected the fastest, most fundamental way of saving Satoko and executed it without hesitation. That man was dead. He was gone. He would never ever hurt Satoko again. We all thought frantically for days on end about Satoko's problem, and finally, with no options, we gave up, and I had solved it in one night. By myself, without anyone's help. Right about now, Satoko would be making dinner for her uncle, despite not knowing when he'd return, and she might be spending the night trembling in fear whether he'd yell at her for how it tasted. But her uncle wouldn't come home. She wouldn't have to fear his wrath, nor let him make her feel sad. I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that he didn't kill her uncle. Like, he killed someone else, like his friend. Like, borrowing his motorcycle. I don't know. I could see him pulling that ass pole right there. I see. I did it. I successfully saved Satoko. All I'd been thinking about for a long time was killing that man, and I'd forgotten the feeling that it was actually all to save her. I did. I did something good. That's right. I did something good, didn't I? I felt hot tears coming from my eyes. And that's when I first realized that the exhaustion I'd been feeling was actually guilt. The blade of guilt for a while now had just been scraping away with its tip, hurting my heart. It hurt so bad I couldn't stand it. It was throbbing painfully. It hurt so much, it was so painful that I cried. I cried tears of joy at saving Satoko. I didn't know why, really, anymore. I just cried. My tears fell and fell. As I stood there for a while, coming to terms with those warm tears, my heart was comforted a little. Alright, Keiichi Maebara. That's enough. There's nothing to regret or feel ashamed about. Both my body and mind were thoroughly exhausted, and that was a fact. It was only natural I couldn't feel anything. Even tomorrow, the day after that, I might not be able to feel anything for a while. But there was one thing that was true. There was an undisputed fact that I had saved Satoko. One day, we would surely be rewarded. One day I'd be proud of how distressing an enterprise I had undertaken to get Satoko's smile back. And so that I could wait for that day, I had to put the finishing touches on this night. If I left it undone, everything I'd accomplished today would be for naught. I looked back up at the sky, which didn't look like it would stop raining anytime soon. Then, I rubbed my eyes and summoned forth energy from my core again. How long did I plan on spacing out? This isn't a time for daydreaming. Someone could find the corpse this very moment. That pessimistic thought was proof the very natural emotion of fear had returned to me. As I allowed the fear to spur me onwards. I went to look for the other shovel and the lantern inside the storage room. It was fortunate I remembered what it looked like around the streetlight the body was near. With how dark it was quite possible I wouldn't have been able to look for it either. I didn't realize that when I left the place, so the idea of memorizing the spot hadn't even crossed my mind. The good thing is I have a really damn good memory, so I probably would have memorized where it would have been. Like, I have an uncanny memory. And that's why I had to call it fortunate that I managed to get back to a body like this. The corpse was now located in a big muddy puddle. Half the thing had already sunk into the swamp-like pool of water. I only realized afterward, but there was an unused irrigation channel right nearby clogged with fallen leaves and dirt. There was rainwater flowing in from there. My shoes had been awash with water for a long time now, so without hesitation I stepped into the puddle. The whole muddy stream started flowing back luckily. I couldn't leave any slight traces like bloodstains. The rain was like a blessing from heaven. I checked around me, paying very close attention, and then turned off the lantern. It became pitch black, but my eyes got used to the darkness in a few moments, and once I managed to reach the street light on the other side, I was able to make out even faint lights. I stuck the shovel into the puddle right next to the corpse. The ground was even looser here than I thought, and the shovel's tip easily slid inside it. I had to hurry and dig. If I took too much time, I might lose my energy and strength again. Don't wimp out on this, you're gonna need a lot. It felt almost like digging a hole in the sand at the beach, because since it's raining so much, it's very easy that the dirt can come off, and you don't want that. It was easy to dig, but no matter what, the muddy water kept flowing in, covering the hole. The digging wasn't going as well as I'd hoped. I dug and dug, the water would go in, so I couldn't get a sense of how deep it was. The only way for me to measure was to bury my own foot in the mud. I'm digging just fine. It's alright, don't be disheartened. Dig, dig, dig. Occasionally a car would come by on the road, and I'd hurry to hide myself in the trees. Everyone was only passing through, though. They wouldn't have their eyes peeled in this kind of darkness. Yeah, sometimes I don't have them peeled, but sometimes I look out into the forest and such. Just see what's out there. See if I can't catch something, look at something, find something interesting. Though if I see something weird, I'm still driving. Fuck that. I ain't stopping. I'm not fucking with that shit. I understood it logically, but I still couldn't help but hide. What I was really scared of wasn't quite that one of those cars would coincidentally happen to witness me here. It was that the distance I could spot cars from was getting gradually shorter. At first I noticed the splashing sounds from really far away as the cars drove through them. I started noticing them less and less, and with the car that just passed by, I didn't notice until its headlights were upon me. Felt my senses growing duller by the second. If someone were to take a peek in secret, as I was burying the body at the worst possible time, maybe I wouldn't even notice. The moment I thought that, I took a real good look at it all around me. See, that's when you need to slap the shit out of yourself as hard as you can. Just haul up and just hit yourself as hard as possible. I do that shit on a regular basis to keep myself awake. You just have to. You need to guarantee yourself that you're going to be fine. And that's what you do. You just give a couple smacks. Some really good ones too. And you'll be better at that point. You'll feel better. I've roused all my half-asleep senses and searched for signs of presence nearby. What if I found out someone was spying on me from the trees? You'd have to kill them. Carnivorous feeling snarled at me, glaring. If there was, then I would dig another hole. That's a good one. That's a good fucking one. That's a good one. That's a good quote. If there was, I'd dig another hole. I'd come this far already. In order to achieve perfection, I didn't care how much more I had to pay. I didn't know what kind of face I was making at the time, but it was definitely a fervently glaring one. My five senses reached the conclusion that nobody was present. I didn't breathe a sigh of relief. I just continued to dig. How long had I been digging this mud out of here? Was it deep enough to go up to my knees? Maybe this was enough. Maybe I'd throw the corpse in as a test. I swallowed, getting my breathing under control. Despite how much I'd beaten him, I was afraid of touching the corpse. I didn't just fucking kick him in. So instead I dragged it by the feet to the hole. It took more than just a waggle and a tug to do it. But of course it did. Considering this man's weight, it was easily 80 kilograms. I rallied all my strength and dragged him. I don't fucking know. Oh, stupid me, an American, not knowing what fucking kilograms are. Give me a fucking minute. God, I'm such a Oh, that's not heavy at all. Actually. Only 176. That's not bad. I rallied all my strength and dragged him. I don't remember if I read that part. I might not have. Actually, I think I might have. I don't fucking remember. Anyways. At this point, my groundless fears that he might suddenly start moving again had vanished long ago. His body... Oh, fuck. His body fit perfectly into the muddy hole. It was more than deep enough. Alright, let's bury the fucker. Quickly. If I did a perfect job of burying it here, everything would be over. I would hide it in the hole and none of this would have ever happened. When I realized I had only a little farther to go and finished everything, I was racked with pointless anxiety, like I was in a race against time. It was like I was absorbed in a delusion that if I didn't bury the body quickly, it might come back to life. In any case, in a great rush, I poured mud and dirt into the hole. If I didn't work efficiently, someone might find me here. Until now, I'd figured if someone saw me, I'd just kill them, but not anymore. I was arrested with such absolute fear that if somebody saw me, it would be all over. As I finished the work off, it was a total mess. Splish, splash, squish, squash. I drew the surface of the shovel across the ground, trying to make it flat. It was completely covered in mud at this point. The rain washed the mud off my body, but not off of now my blackened clothing. My body and mind were caked with panic, with fear, with rain, sweat, and mud. My shoulders heaving, I threw down the shovel and sat down in the mud. Okay. And passed out. And then the police came by and asked why I was sitting next to this muddy pile. And then I was fucked. I was so exhausted that I wanted to lie down here and sleep. It was over. This time, for real. It was over. The man was now on the bottom of the wet dirt. Right this moment, there were traces that this place had been dug up. But the rain and flowing muddy water would completely cover it all within moments. Yes, it was over. I did it. I did it. I did it. You motherfucker. Yes. Yes. Oh god, that was good. That's it. You motherfucker. And then I fell over backwards, face up in the mud. Raindrops pelted my face without mercy, but I didn't care. Oh, it feels so good, so liberating. After staying here for a while, resting my mind, I got up again. It was over. So let's go home. You already buried the thing. So now it's like it's never happened. It never happened, so there's no reason for me to stay out here and get rained on. I wobbled to my feet. I wouldn't use the shovel anymore. I considered disassembling it, but I didn't have the strength in my absolute exhaustion. I didn't really need to take it apart anyway. Dragging the shovel behind me, I headed towards the light. I stood up my bike. It had been laying in the grass by the road. I hope you have the lantern as well. I didn't know how I was going to get the still assembled shovel into the front basket. I put the shovel down on the back of my shirt like I'd done the baseball bat. Unlike the bat, the corner of it was on my back, making it very painful. Plus, if I relaxed my posture even a little, it would fall out behind me. I ended up having to carry the shovel in my left hand and ride my bike using only my right hand. Not only was I in a state of total exhaustion, this was a downpour. One hand on the handlebars, I swayed to and fro like a drunk. I didn't care. Even swaying like this, I got a little closer to home every time I pedaled. I saw two lights swaying slowly in front of me. Oh, fuck me. Car was approaching. Oh no. I need to get out of the way. From far away, the shadow of the darkness, a car appeared. Its dazzling lights washed over me. Fuck me. The driver made a short honk of the horn to inform me I was in the middle of the road. Oh, it's fucking Oishi, isn't it? Oh no. Oh no. I have to get out of the way. I kept telling myself that, but not only was I riding one-handed, I was exhausted, so I couldn't do anything. Wobble, wobble, wobble. I meandered about, not going to the right or the left. The driver decided to swerve out of the way right in front of me, and without lowering its speed much, steadily came towards me. Fuck, it's Oishi, isn't it? It's Oishi. Its outline grew larger in my vision, telling myself again that I really need to get out of the way. I jerked the handlebars in one direction, then lost my balance, fell over, bike and all. Fuck. My whole body splayed out, and one foot got caught up in the bike. Oh, fuck. This was seriously bad. My drowsiness quickly vanished, and just as a cold sweat broke out on my skin, the driver recklessly spun the wheel to the left, made a counterclockwise U-turn, and came right up to me and stopped. It's fucking Oishi. The driver's door opened, and the driver came out. You idiot, what are you doing here? I was pretty sure someone would yell at me like that. Oh my, oh my. Look who it is. Yeah, that's fucking Oishi. Has to be. Fuck.